Mark in the count. The swing arm now coming back as our countdown continues.
Good afternoon / evening, everybody. I am Brick Something. On where I'm at, the sun's still out, and over there, I'm assuming where Jay's at, not so much.
No, it is a godless abyss here. So yeah, no.
Love it. My favorite abysses. Abysses. I don't know. Are the godless ones?
Yes.
Welcome, dude. Welcome to the Brick Something channel, and thank you for joining me on the Brick Something News, man.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me, and Happy New Year, dude. Happy New Year.
Oh, yes, that's right. What are we, 4 days in? Yes.
5? 5.
Yeah. Yeah, 5. I am trying. I'm going to say it, and then I put it away. I'm trying to get over. I'm a spoiled teacher in the sense that I know that I get more time off than a lot of people. But then I get this, like, both my wife and our teachers. So we get this like crazy anxiety the day before going back. It's actually been more than that. My wife hasn't been able to sleep the last 2 nights. So that said, I know we've had way much more time off than everybody else. So I'll put that away.
It's okay. I took a bunch of time off, and then I still had to burn time off. Like, I still lost time off. So I took a bunch, and I went to the office 1 or 2 days during this break, and was like, this is a joke. Because there's nobody in. But I feel you, man. And then for some reason today, you're like, oh my God, I got to be productive. I got to do all the things I said I was going to do. And then you're like, there's no time. And then you just give up. Yeah. Just give up.
And I've had, oh gosh, I forgot. I meant to check back, but your partner in crime, Machu, was here a while back. Yep. So
he was.
Between 2024 and now 2025, I've been hovering between 2 Sentinels.
There you go. You booked it.
Yeah. Sorry it took so long to get you on here.
Dude,
I swear it's not because of your comments about She-Hulk or anything like that.
You promised me you weren't going to bring that up, and then
I know.
You immediately went into it. I love it. That's cool. No, it's perfect.
I'm a liar. No,
liar.
Things just come out. No, anyways, I'm glad you're here, man. Let's definitely talk some toys on a beautiful Sunday afternoon for me, and a godless abyss for you. Let's see the couple folks who come to stop in on this Sunday. Hey, it's Kenzo. Yes, Kenzo knows me very well. Sorry that I have to pull myself away from the man. I've been watching all sorts of sports ball. No, not at all. I don't do it. But Kenzo and I have this thread where we share sports things. So and I'm like, hey, check out these folks in Asia who kick balls. It's just wild sports that I've never heard of that are far more interesting to me. Almost like martial arts volleyball. I forget what it's called. Kenzo, help me out. It's actually incredible. It's like hacky sack, but with a larger ball, and you kick it back and forth. Anyway, it's flips.
Okay.
Yes.
It's not tetherball. Okay. All right.
It's not. It's some other thing. Right. So I'm like, anyways, if sports were more like that, maybe I'd watch.
Okay.
The Collection Nexus, I'm pretty sure that he's still working on the concept of primero or first, but that's okay. We love you, Ronald. Brian Carr, happy Sunday. Yes, let's make it happy. Nick Dillinger, ahoy, hoy, mateys.
Ahoy.
Yeah, you know how that is.
Ahoy.
Oh, man, I should have had you open up. See?
It's okay. Bro. It's okay.
Dude, I love the way you open your show. Question. Would this make J-Shot Sentinel Prime?
No. I am certainly not Sentinel Prime. For sure not. If one of us is going to be Sentinel Prime, it's going to be Machu. For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Confirmed. There you go.
Confirm.
You could be Master Mold.
Wouldn't my dad be Master Mold? Or my mom?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So... That gets weird. Josh, stop asking weird questions. Yeah. It's Sunday. Yeah.
Thanos, good to see you. Thanks again for helping, Mr. Wrench. Hey Ray, hey Chat, hey Brick. He says Jason's electric. Let's definitely go back to the moon and beyond.
Back to moon.
Two moon.
All right, let's
Too
go.
many moons? Multiple
Too many
moons.
moons? That's the one.
Larry's of Larry's Geeky World is here. Hello, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, I understand that. It's the worst Sunday of the year because everybody's gonna go back to work tomorrow. I get that. No, I totally get that.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
I
in fairness-
appreciate you were ready to jump in and defend me. I appreciate that, but I know where Josh was going with that.
In fairness, as parents, I'm sure a lot of parents are probably pretty happy. I know we don't like to say that, but I've heard some people be like,
I know.
Yay!
Yeah, I get that. I'm sure my wife is thrilled. Tomorrow she gets her life back. So, yeah.
Kids, don't watch this back, and don't worry, it's fine. Yes, before going back to work for the first time the new year. Heyo, what's up, Zio Adams?
What's up,
Good
Zio?
to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. T. Belay Thomas, what's up going on? What's up going on? That's awesome. What's going on and what's up? Two questions merged together.
Merge them together. You're efficient. That's what you are.
Yeah. Travis, Mr. Wonderful, just popping through. Thank you for letting us all know that and to give commands out to the audience. Yes. Patrick Fu is here. Cool. Patrick does some amazing work, man. He's just
awesome.
Huge. It's like one of those folks who build like giant sort of worlds in their garage or whatever, and doesn't buy new figs. Maybe buys figures that are deals, if anything, but usually like thrift store finds and just creates his own little like world.
I love that.
Cyberpunky kind of world.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, it's one of those people who you're like, man, you're like way more talented than me, but also like he has a reason to buy toys. Like,
okay, I get that.
You do too. You take photos of them. You do. Like, I'm just buying stuff. Anyways, whatever.
That's half of it.
I gotta work on the shame. Rick Jones, what's going on? And hey, yes, thank you.
Finally. Oh God.
Did you watch?
Oh, we went opening weekend. So,
same here.
Oh yeah. We are a musical household. Yeah.
Well done. We went Friday, went back on Sunday.
Nice.
Or did it come out Thursday? Anyway, yeah. Not intended to be a musical household. I was like, I saw it. My wife saw it on stage, but we're like not huge fans, but just curious. Took the kids. They loved it, and they're the ones who said, "Can we go back?"
I saw the play, hated the play, but loved the story. Loved the story. But then watched the movie and, as someone who's been in production his whole life, appreciated the movie so much because you could see all the little nuances. And I won't spoil the movie for anybody who's never seen the play, but there's little things in it, like when you're seeing the characters and you don't know who they're going to become, but you just see those little moments and you're like, well, these are things that are lost on a play.
Yep.
And part of the reasons I didn't like the play was because what I love about a play is when you let the actors shine. And the play has so much stuff on the set, and it's like this thing's on fire, and this thing is smoking, and it's like, yeah, but there's also like 30 people on stage performing, and you're like, let that shine, and you're like, no, look over here, and it's like, and again, like Wizard of Oz, look over here, but like, like I love the idea of Hamilton where it's like simple set, so yeah. Anyway,
I appreciate that, man. That was dope. Yeah, when are we gonna do theater talk? No,
sign me up, man. You told you I'm happy to be here.
The show started here in San Francisco. It's one of those things where why did I go? I don't know. Anyway, I went to go see it. Similarly, it was like spectacle, like big stuff, but it's also theater. And I am a fan of theater, but it's when I compare the theater versus the movie, it's interesting how, and not all movie adaptations of Broadway stuff work. But there's definitely, like, they use the medium more. Like you said, there's details in costumes that hint at what you're talking about. But you can see that because it's in this new format, but you can't see it on stage.
Right.
And then I got it, like, I've always felt like everyone loves the music. Here's like, okay, hot take. I don't like the Idina Menzel or the other one. Sorry.
Kristen Chenoweth.
Yeah, because, and I get it. They're Broadway, so they're bigger than life. Right.
Yeah.
And
they're meant to be. They're meant to be. Yeah.
And I just feel like the story's so nuanced about both characters that it anyways.
No, I agree with you.
All right.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I love it. Josh Brown. Seriously, I think the movie will inspire a whole new generation of I 100% agree.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Josh. I want to make one thing very clear. I do not want people to get false hope that you can make money in musical theater. That is a lie. That is an absolute lie.
Fair enough. Were you so did you work at all on show? You said you've been a production background.
Dude, I've been in production for almost 30 years at this point. So yeah.
But stage, like you did
not
stage,
film, television, live events. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, stage in the sense that I produce every production that my kids are in. My kids have a production next week of Annie. My daughter's been in Guys and Dolls and Beauty and the Beast. And so but no, musical theater is always, I've been pitching the company I work for. I've been pitching a musical commercial for the last 3 years. And I was like, one day you're going to bite, one day. And then like this hit big. And I literally walked into the office the next day and I was like, wouldn't it be amazing if we were already in production of a musical commercial? And, And they were like, yeah. And I was like, I was right. Yeah. So
we slept on it. We missed we missed the window.
Last thing I'll say about this.
Last thing I'll say about this as a musician, those singers are amazing. But have you seen the sort of behind the scenes? When I was watching the entire thing, this is my issue with a lot of adaptations, is there's a sync thing that happens no matter how hard they try that doesn't quite work, whether it's like visual emotion on the actor's face or whatever in the singing. But in this one, they actually did it all live and cut live performances.
Which from a production standpoint, nightmare.
Right.
Nightmare. From a capture perspective, beautiful. Production standpoint, mixing, post-production, nightmare. But
that's how
beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even wrap my head around that because of, well, one, they're singing, like doing everything, trying to get that in the takes. But then, I saw we were talking earlier before this about the Toy Migos interactions, trying to set up sound at SDCC for a YouTube thing and have enough mics. You imagine being able to capture that without getting all the other noises, right? Get clean audio.
It's the worst. Anyways, audio's the
worst.
We're
nerds on multiple levels, and I appreciate it, man. Ray Black, good to see you. Saying hello to both of us and the chat, and Allison Troy, Retro Toy Princess, who next weekend, folks, on next Sunday, I'll be on her channel doing some coloring live. Nice. It's been a minute, but one of my favorite things ever. We're doing Monchichi. Were you a Monchichi kid, or were you aware of Monchichi?
I don't know what Monchichi is, but I would love to know more.
Before Ninja Turtles, man, there was Monchichi.
Okay.
Before AWOC, there was Monchichi.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so now I feel like I got to hijack the show. So first off, this is their 50th anniversary of Monchichi. I'll just show a picture. You'll know exactly what it is, and then we'll start the show off proper because, who cares about 112 action figures when we could be talking Monchichi? If I could just remember.
You do that. I want to call out Josh's comment here about Adidas is his Maureen, and I see you, Josh, and I appreciate that. Yes, I do know what a Monchichi is. Okay, all right, yes, yes.
Okay, yes. So yes, Monchichi. I don't know if Ron is still here, or if any of the Collection Nexus, but I was on their show, and they do a show, bring a toy about the past, and then a present toy and a pre-order is their thing. My past toy was my big old Monchichi, which I had as a kid. Nice. And but yes, these things are rad. So we're going to be doing some Monchichi coloring. It is their 50th anniversary. Last year was their 50th anniversary. So 40th here in the States next year.
Yeah. So you want to hear something even crazier? So it says produced by Hanna-Barbera, right? Joe Barbera.
Mm-hmm.
My great uncle.
No.
Mm-hmm. On my mother's side, my great uncle.
No way.
Yep.
Dude, that's my childhood.
Yeah, dude, it was mine too. Every year for Christmas, we used to get an animated cell.
That's amazing. And do you still have this?
I have. I think there's about 6 or 7 of them because after a while they stopped. But yes, I have about 6 or 7 of them hidden somewhere. So
damn,
in my parents' house. Yeah, and they were never from the big cart. It was never from Scooby Doo or anything. But I have them
it don't.
I have them somewhere. So
that's awesome. Oh my god, cool. That's beautiful. I love Hanna-Barbera. I love Monchichi, and I wasn't joking when I said seriously. Take a look at this, anthropomorphized animals, right? Oh, cute. You get shirt tails, you get all that stuff.
Shirt tails. Oh yeah.
there's a
The
DNA
sorts.
through line there, right? To I
Totally.
think Ninja Turtles,
Yeah, I
to
can see it.
Thundercats, to Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, and some of the stuff we'll look at today.
Perfect.
All right. That said, if you're new to the show, well, I should have done this earlier, but it's been a while. Where is this? If you're new to the show, here it is. On the bottom, you're going to see this URL business, a bit.ly link. If you go to that after the show, I will have the links up to basically everything we see, including this awesome Machichi Wikipedia entry. If you're a visual person like me, it's helpful to kind of just see things. And here's the QR code down by the Machichi's big old cute foot, if you want to take a look at that too. So let's go ahead and start off with, so this is the news. It's not truly news, but we do have some newsy stuff, and we're just going to talk toys about anything that we saw. So this first section is the scene. So this week, dude.
Yeah.
Toy DNA, new company, filled with people who aren't new to toys at all. Right. So Adam from the Toy Amigos. Oh, by the way, congratulations. This guy last Thursday became
Wednesday.
an honor.
Wednesday. Oh,
Wednesday.
oh yes.
No.
Yeah, lots to celebrate this week. Wednesday, yes. Well, Wednesday was our 100th episode.
Congratulations on that. Yes.
Yeah.
Well done.
And then
100 episodes
Thursday.
of Between Two Sentinels. Between Two Sentinels.
Yeah.
Thursday, you were knighted a Toy Amigo.
Knighted. Yeah, an unofficial or unofficially, I don't know. Honorable member, I don't know. Whatever.
Honorary.
Yes,
honorary.
Yeah.
Don't pretend you're honorable. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, and so on the Toy Amigos, there is Adam. Adam is working on his new toy line. Has been working for like a long time now, right? Years. This thing has been sort of teased. I think I've heard.
Yep.
2019, I want to say, and so on January 1st, their Kickstarter for this line of horror-based monster creature figures called The Cursed Dead started off, and I was all about it. They're currently at $48,000 of 175,000 goals. 255 souls are interested in The Cursed Dead, and I kind of talked about it before, and I'm actually going to have Adam and I don't know who else, but it's Adam, Phil, and just one other person, and Jesse. Yeah. I don't know who'll show up, but I'll either have them here on the news or a pre-recorded thing. Are they going to be on Between Two Sentinels?
So they did a quick pop on Wednesday's episode where I mispronounced Phil's name about every different way that I could, which was great. And they did just a quick. It's January 1st, obviously they did their launch, so they just popped on to tease kind of the intro, and then I think they did a big. Or no, I know Adam and Phil were on with Wade on Friday. Yeah, so they talked about this, but we got to see the drinker at Legion's Con. I think you got to see it too. Did. Yeah, that was was on Wade's table, so it was awesome. Yep. But yeah, these things are cool, man. And I know that there's a really cool story there for each of these figures that I'm certainly going to let Adam tell. But I also think they're cool, they're fun. I'm not a big horror guy, but there's some really cool aspects. I backed it. I picked and chose a couple different characters, but I did get the drinker 3-pack. Because I was like, eventually we're gonna get a Blade figure, and he's gonna need some nasty looking vampires, and these things will be perfect. So,
and with that, cool. you'll get essentially 3 different heads depending on how you want to go. You'll get the sort of this head, the open mouth, closed mouth, and the skull, which was kind of cool to hear him talk about on Wade, that they're all going to be painted to the body, which actually makes for like a unique figure.
Yeah. So
beyond is that what you're at right now with the 3 base? I did
the 3 base, and then I did the Wendigo because that thing just scared the crap out of me.
Is that unlocked now? It is.
I think a bunch of them are unlocked. I did the Dr. Crane too.
Okay.
Because he just Phil, and I'm sure he'll talk about this when he's on your show. Phil is actually one of the original sculptors on the TMNT line. So, I don't know where this pulled inspiration from. But I think I want to give credit where credit is due, but I can't remember who said this, but somebody said this will work perfectly with your Mezco TMNT Turtles
100%.
as a Baxter. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, so I guess I'm getting this one. So I got that one, and the next figure, again, my proficiency in pronouncing names is terrible, but the Dr. Scanty,
Escante, I'm assuming.
Escante?
That's how they were saying it the other day
Yeah.
with Wade, but there was also
He
jokes thrown around.
He looks like an angry Zoidberg, and
He does.
I couldn't
He
stop
100%
laughing.
does.
Yeah. So
Totally.
so
At
there's a
first, you're
part
like,
of-
squint your eyes. You're like, it's the lizard.
Yeah.
And then you open your eyes and get a little pink on there. And you're like, oh.
What about Zoidberg? Yeah. So so I might back him. I'm a little back and forth on him right now, but yeah, so
comes with the whole retro ray
and he got the
gun.
lobster claws too. So
Yeah.
it's a little Zoidbergy, but I love him. I think they're great. And by the way, Adam's a great guy, and he's been so supportive of everybody else. Like it just feels good to support a guy like that, and to make sure that you do what you can to get him here. And by the way, he's like 5 days into this thing, and he's already at 50 grand, and that's awesome. So let's keep the momentum going.
Yeah, man, you
Dude,
nailed it.
That thing is scary as hell.
I know it is. I think ultimately I want to go here right now. I've got the Wraith and Rage and Hate and Rage with a W, and Drinker. But I don't know. We'll see what happens over the life of the thing. We're really in day 5. It goes till February 1st. I'll be talking more about it. You'll be seeing those guys doing their tour.
Yeah, they're coming back on our show too. So they'll be
cool.
not this Wednesday, next Wednesday. So.
Yeah, totally love the idea of a tour for Kickstarters, because we had a blast doing the AWOC one. Yeah. And I think you got to, right? You got to kind of do the tour. And as I search for a video that Adam sent me, I'm seeing that he said, let's do Sunday the 19th. So they'll be here on the 19th. And I don't know how to share this without sharing. Yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. Hopefully there's nothing... But he just wanted to share this because so this is for the Wendigo comes with an arm, and I was asking, is that like an arm, or is it a meat thing that he eats and chews on? So it's a meat thing that he eats and chews on. He sent me this video. He's like, you can share this as like a exclusive look. And
there you go.
I'm not super good at the whole I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Am I supposed to be like, check it out, breaking news? Yeah, with a thumbnail in my face going,
yeah.
There you go. It is nasty though. Like looking at this.
Yeah. Wait. Here, we'll make the thumbnail now. Oh wait, no.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Oh, YouTube, you're so silly. Did you ever think, speaking of your production background, did you ever think that you'd basically be producing a weekly show?
No,
talking
God.
to like people and being a host? Is the host thing? Is that a thing that you've done?
The host thing was always like a secret dream. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay.
So
you're good.
before,
you're good.
Yeah. So, well, thank you. I pretend. So I spent almost 2 years working for Conan O'Brien in my past life.
Dope.
And there was always a part of me that was like, wouldn't it be awesome to like host your own show? Like there was always a part of me. And then a few years back, and a few years being like 12 or 15 at this point, I had another podcast. It was strictly a podcast, not a video podcast, with a couple buddies in advertising that I worked in. And we used to just get around, and it was called One Bottle, One Podcast. I don't recommend this, where we would turn on a bunch of microphones and talk about advertising, and we would finish a bottle of booze. And the podcast would start really structured, and then it would go off the rails rather quickly. And like I said, I don't recommend this, and eventually we couldn't keep that up anymore for lots of reasons. So, there was always like a want or a need to keep doing a show like this. And then, Matt and I became friends, and, we started doing the car trips to the different shows, the different toy shows. And we were like, we should start a show. And I was like, is that what you want to do? Like, I was very like, don't freak out, John. Like, don't be like, yes, let's start it right now. I was like, let's play cool, play cool. And I was like, yeah, like that would be cool, man. We should do a show. And then it just snowballed from there. So,
yeah, it's a great show every Wednesday. I understand it's the only show.
No, I wish it was the only show. We're the warm-up show. We're the warm-up act. Yeah.
And we'll get to this show, but seriously, you're a fantastic host, super charismatic.
I appreciate that.
Even just talking with you right now, I'm just gonna sit here and like let you talk, and and just smile and go, huh? Like I want to hear about Conan O'Brien. I want to hear
man.
I want to hear about your daughter's like stage thing and all of that stuff. But there's toys to talk about. So
there's toys to talk about.
Toy DNA. I will say this. I heard it this morning. Some folks were talking about this and they're like, I've never heard of the Toy DNA. Is that like company that ripped off a bunch of people? So there's that unfortunate DNA connection between what is it? Oh, I forget. Oh, something DNA. Oh gosh, they did like.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, anyway, they did the. What is that? Oh god, it's an old cartoon. It's one of the old cartoon retro toys that were made. Premium DNA, is that a thing?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Zio saying premium DNA. Yeah.
So anyway, like there was some stuff there that I think people are like, oh. So I was just like, I was in the chat. I was like, no, that's not what this is. This is who they are. Check out Gentle Giant, Toy Maker, blah, blah, blah. And they worked on Marvel Legends to Toy, blah, blah, blah. And so it's one of those weird, awkward things where it's interesting to me where like, you're in certain circles, you pay attention to certain things, like you're aware of it. And then other folks are just new to it and they're figuring this out. And anyway, so I just want to say that this is Toy DNA, their own thing. These folks have a pedigree, if you will, and experience in toys going back to like McFarlane, Hasbro, Toy Biz, Playmates, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Playmates, Marvel Legends, Marvel or Hasbro. Marvel Legends, Hasbro, yeah. So they're like, definitely not premium DNA. So.
Yes. So it's beautiful seeing them do their thing, like come up with their own kind of like world they want to play in, do the horror thing, and we'll talk more about this on the 19th here. And then whenever they get back to you, when do they come back to you? Guys?
Not this Wednesday, next Wednesday.
Following Wednesday. Okay, cool.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
That's The Cursed Dead, and you can also check their stuff out here. Check out the Wade one on Friday. It was actually really good.
Yeah.
I especially love to see Wade and Adam go back and forth.
Wade and Adam are great. Yeah.
So go check that out. Okay. Do you Transformers?
I don't do Transformers. I don't actually.
Neither do I. I don't. I have a YOLO Park Megatron because those things are rad. Thank you, Adam, actually, who brought that on the Migos and sold me. But also, I think I have a Scion XB, which is the car that I drive.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's a nice car. That's a good car. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cute. But I don't
I love the Scion, dude. I genuinely love the Scion. I remember like when it came out, I was like, this is a sleek looking car.
Well, it's a 2006. I enjoy it too. I hauled a bunch of wood in it yesterday. But my students make fun of it. I've had a friend who's an MC in Seattle being like, dude, what are you driving that? Like old ladies drive that. And I was like, well, I'm an old lady.
Whatever.
Anyway,
we used to drive Honda Civics for fun. Like it's fine. Like, it's got 4 wheels and you get to where you need to go. And it's like, dude, when the Scions get like,
that's what I said. I like it.
The Scion Tiburon was like one of the coolest cars when it came out.
Okay.
Tiburon meant shark. And I was like, yeah, I want that. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I'm here.
That said,
I'm here for you.
My Scion is probably about as big as this Transformers. That is now it's going for $1,300 plus the shipping and freight on this thing, and you can kind of tell the scale. I don't know if folks have seen this. Oh, I should probably pay attention to the chat. My bad, guys. I'll come back to it. But you can see this printer.
Yeah.
And there's a TV there, and there's like a human-sized Metroplex chilling, which is kind of rad if you have a Transformers collection, because Metroplex is a city. It's a transforming city. And so this thing, I don't know. Have you seen this?
I haven't seen it, but here's my question. Does it transform?
Well, I don't know. Let's take a look. But it looks to me like it does. Because I don't know if have you ever seen Metroplex? It's not much of a transformation. Like his legs go out. Like he's not exactly looking like an actual city. But check this out, dude.
I mean, it's huge. It's massive. It's a child, right? I mean, it's like you could probably take it in the HOV lane. He looks like he's fondling it. He should stop that. It does transform. All right, Josh. So I'll give you credit for that. Because like I'm that guy because I don't transform. Like I like to push people's buttons. I don't do Transformers. I like to push people's buttons. So like, by the way, the YOLO Park stuff is fantastic. I love it. It's great. Shout out to YOLO. They did a great job. They made really good faux formers. They don't transform. They're not. You can't call. You can't call them Transformers. They're faux formers. They're not
they
Transformers.
made dope action figures. Of
yeah, they make good action figures. You're right. They make great action
that's
figures.
That's what I call it.
They're not Transformers. So yeah, I bust chop because I don't do it. But they do look great, and I see like Chewy. No Chewing is a huge fan of them. And I know that a lot of people are. This thing's huge. It's great. As someone who has a lot of Ninja Turtles, I don't know where the hell I'm going to put this if I got it.
That's where. Thank you for bringing that up, because at a certain point today, I would love to talk to you about.
Yeah, of course.
I would love you to help me wrap my head around how people collect Ninja Turtles. But on that note, part of it is this conversation I was having yesterday morning with some folks on Oz's channel, Shadamas Toys, and as far as like collecting goes, there's so much stuff coming out now, and then on top of that, there's these items, these like crazy, like designed to be mega grails, right? This is the 21st century version of the whatever, the USS Flag, right? Where it really shouldn't have been made, but it was. And like people, it seems like the arms race is there. Like, oh yeah, you like your Unicron? Check out this Metroplex, right? You like your Castle Grayskull? Check out this Eternia.
Right.
And so I don't think you are meant for this, right? Clearly.
No, of course not. Of course not.
I think the thinking is, if you're a Transformers fan, you want that one piece and then everything kind of goes around it. Yeah, theoretically.
Yeah. I'd also imagine you got to be a fan of this character, right? Like,
right.
Like, I mean, one, how many of these are being made, which is what would be a question that I have. Two, how many people want this character? Like, strictly, again, speaking as someone who doesn't collect Transformers, so I feel like I got a cool little outside view on this. Like, I would imagine if you're a company making this right now, okay, so now different. All right, I'm going to talk myself out of this a little bit. If you're a company making a figure this big, right? It's a 4 foot tall. Wouldn't you make more money selling a 4 foot tall Optimus Prime or Megatron, right? Like, as a business, you'd be like, cool, let's do this. Unless the goal is like, this fits with other figures and it's just he is that scale, then you're like, oh, okay, then I get it, right? So like that's my like counterpoint to myself. But it does transform, but you're saying he doesn't really like transform. Okay. It's like,
so take a look at it. It's like, it's literally his legs are splayed out. Like, I remember this from the original toy too, in the design. It's supposed to be like a city, but it's like a it's like a Transformer lowering his head and spreading his legs and saying, come on in, folks. So
so it's never mind.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a little like, it's cool. It's a little SDF1 looking, if that's a reference. But he's got like, his arms are sticking back and his fists are still out. I mean, it's kind of like that semi-Transformer. Don't hate me, Transformers folks. Like, I get it. I think it is cool. I think it's exactly what you said. You got there at the end, that it's meant to fit in with it. Like, if you have this and you put your there we go. You're not your Ninja Turtles, your Transformers around it. It's like they are hanging out with Metroplex, and it's pretty wild. So I don't know. I throw that out there because this is not the only one we'll be looking at today. There are these mega toys that are by design meant to be the center of your collection, and then you have other stuff around it. But then they start making other big pieces that go with it, and you're just like, and then you got the people who are like, I need this. I need Eternia. I need Beathir the dragon from Mythic Legions, and I'm just like, whoa, respect. I can't play with you anymore. Like, I can't. I got.
When does it
end?
Yeah.
Anyway,
but we still don't know. We still don't know how much that dragon's going to cost. That's crazy.
I'll tell you this: it ain't going to cost that.
It's true. It's true.
It's going to be less than half that. It might be a third of that.
It's true. It's true. That's good. But by the way, that's a good way to make an argument. Like,
it is.
At least it doesn't cost.
Yeah. I'm going to say it publicly because I was kind of on the fence. I think I'm officially in the not getting it camp.
Really?
And I was telling people on the Toy Amigos Discord, please, this is where I need to be disabled. Like, go with me on this ride.
Don't enable you. Okay.
No. I don't know what your situation is like there in the East Coast. You're Jersey or New York? I forget.
New York. New York.
Okay.
New York.
So New York. I've seen New York homes. I don't know what your situation is. I'll tell you, I'm in a South San Francisco, but not that different from a small San Francisco home. 900 something square. Like, there's no way. Most of my toys are in my classroom. So if I can't fit those 6-inch figures here, Why am I going to get a dragon? It's just,
man.
I'm putting it out in the world. I'm putting it out there.
I respect your decision, and here's my point counterpoint. Look at him go. He's loving that thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to get it because if I don't get it, I'm gonna overpay for it later. The FOMO is gonna hit too hard. I would rather buy it now and then sell it than miss out and have to overpay for it later. That's how I justify it. Mind you, do I always sell things? No. But for something like that I feel like is going to be like for me, and for something like this that is strictly a Transformers fan thing, right?
Mhm.
Like that dragon doesn't have to be a Mythic Legions dragon, right? Like that dragon fits into any.
You're right about that.
Or different thing, right? So like that doesn't just have to fit into Mythic Legions for me. That could fit into a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm okay with like picking that up and not picking up every other Mythic Legions thing to go with it. You know? So
fair enough. I will say this. I'm going to pull, again, this bunch of Toy Migos references today to my honorary Toy Migo friend here. I have an Augie Jr. situation. My brother who came with me to Legions Con, he's only been into Legions for like roughly a year. He's in a situation where he can get this thing, and that's his goal.
Perfect.
So I think there's no reason for me to have my own.
No, he'll get it. And you borrow it. Yeah.
Disabled.
That's fine.
Disablers assembled. Okay, let's go back. Disablers disassembled. Let's go back real quick. Chris, good to see you, man. Shiny Plastic People. Shout out to the Team Coco. Same thing, man. You just dropped that real quick.
Yeah.
I love that you worked on. Did you work on the show? Which show?
Yeah, so I worked on the Late Show. So I was actually on the team when they announced that he was going to take over for Leno.
Oh wow! Okay,
so that was it was a while ago, and I was just an intern. You know, I didn't go through the page program. I was an intern for a while, and then stayed on for a little bit after that, and then moved on. I was still in college, but was there for almost a little bit over a year, so just almost 2 years. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Real quick, can't not say hello to you, Derek. Great to see you. Going back to some Cursed Dead, Ray Paz is in for the Wendigo and the Pumpkin Gordy. And get out of here with all that, Chris. And yes, they got me on that. And thank you, Wholesome Warlock. What's going on, man? PGG. Justin Mohan, good to see you. They have gone MIA, not the cool MIA. If you don't know Maya,
I know Maya.
She's dope. Oh yeah, you're in New York. You got to. This is true. I have driven this man around. Okay, moving on. There was something else someone said. Mom said it's my turn on the Xbox Metroplex. Yeah. Can you imagine? Seriously, that thing is so big, it's ridiculous. Hedgehog, what's going on? Just checking in to say happy Sunday. Yellow Park Megatron rules. Agreed. And the best name on the internet next to playing with myself. Inhaled farts. Those proportions are off for my taste. Arms should be longer, legs a tiny bit shorter, and head slightly bigger for the price. Would want to make it perfect. Detail is gorgeous. Inhaled farts. Help me make sense. Are you talking about Metroplex? If you are,
yes, he's talking about Metroplex.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I hear you. You're paying $1,300. It's got to be.
It's got to be perfect.
It's got to be the thing. What's up, Stanley? Oh, he had Metroplex as a kid, so definitely tempted. Wish it had a better looking. Wish it did a better job looking like a City Wind Transform. I felt like that way about the first one. My friend had it and was super impressed as a kid. He's like, "Hey, check this out! It's huge." I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." Sorry, Jarek. The ratchets on that Metroplex are supposedly no good. Thank you. I'm totally not a detail person. This is Justin Mohan sharing it. So like I don't know enough about it to really talk about the quality. I'm just going like, damn, we are living in a time when stuff like this can exist.
Yeah.
It blows me away. So
and honestly, I was gonna say, like $1,300 for that scale, for that detail, for that, it's not bad. I mean, it's not going to sell me on it, but it's not bad, right? Like
Right.
price point, it's not that bad, you know.
If you are a die-hard fan,
yeah, you could justify it.
That's the thing, man.
Make a Technodrome that big.
Yeah.
For $1,300, I might get it.
Yeah. Let's see. He's asking the good. Well, so first off, yes, not with that attitude. I'm not getting a dragon. That's the hope. Actually, that's the hope. Question here is Ted getting the dragon brick? And here's Ted answering. I got you, man.
There you go. All right.
Thank you. He's been used to me playing with and wrecking his toys since I was born. So
there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Oh wait, did we first time see there? Okay, perfect. I've enabled somebody else, so then I can then disable myself. First time seeing the dragon. Yes. Get it, man. You need it. You don't. Okay.
And you got the guy who enabled all of us with his picture there, saying, "Look at that beautiful butter dragon." So, the little 1/6 shooter showing up.
Oh, is Trevor in here? Where is Trevor? There's Trevor. What's going on? Look at that beautiful butter dragon.
The butter dragon.
Yeah, the butter dragon was rad. KJ Smith is now here. Hello, sir.
What's up, KJ?
You want to read that quote from that one for me?
It's not Wednesday, my dudes.
Yes, well done. Your Quip, what's going on? And Brian is asking, wonder how much Fansoy's Fortress Maximus will be. His head costs $230, so Lord knows. You Transformers folks are like, you're in a different world than I am. Yeah, it's that stuff is not cheap. You've got some great third-party people making some amazing stuff, and you all support it. So I respect it.
Here for it.
All right. Anyways, if you want it, $1,300. You could pre-order it. You could mess with BBTS and cancel it later. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Let's move on. Anthropomorphic martial arts animals are a thing that you're into. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, namely. So what about Kung Fu Panda Brothers? Have you seen these before? Are you familiar with you? Yes, you are. You have Blade Master Wang.
I do. I have Blade Master Wang. Yep. Okay. I have Blade Master Wang. And I think the white tiger version is I had a chance to get him too, but I didn't pick him up yet. These look great. I don't know though. I don't know about them. I don't know if I like the face. It's almost like too shaggy for me, you know. But I do see that one. That face is cool. The other face, and I don't know. It's just like it's like too like it's I don't know. It's like the dude, right? Like it's like the
dude
from Big Lebowski. Yeah.
This is right here. That's
really ties the room together, man. You know, like
totally.
Which isn't a bad thing. It's just I don't know. You know. So.
I definitely held off on this, and I think I'm going to continue to hold off on this. Like no shade, because I love Blade Master Wang. It was one of my favorite figures of 2 years ago. And so I think it's great. That was great. This one, I will say, this one and the rabbit, for me, my aesthetics, they just went a little like heavy on the stylizing. Right? It's it's super stylized, which is great for they're defining the aesthetic of that line. But just like the reason I don't necessarily collect a lot of, say, anime figures to kind of blend in with like whatever Legions or AWOC, it doesn't work in my brain so much. And same part of the reason why I've held off on Turtles. I was telling you, I don't own a single modern actual turtle. I do own a rat by one of those companies.
That's wild to me that you don't own a single turtle.
And I love them.
I like Quip's comment there. Well, that's just like your opinion, Jay.
It's still
like your opinion, man.
Allison was always partial to the adolescent radioactive jitsu lizards, but to each their own. What is it? The hamsters? What were the hamsters? Do you remember the hamsters? There was the adolescent kung fu hamster. There was a hamster one that was meant to be like a direct joke and play. Inhaled farts. Man, that's a word picture. These bears are so gorgeous, perfection for my taste, other than their kneecaps and their thighs. I will say I was worried a little bit about the way these things moved, and then I have seen recently, and I'm not prepared to show it here, how they move. There's an interesting thing going on with their neck, and their arms and legs, and they move a lot more than one would assume. Almost, I would say, better than Wang did in some regard. But again, it's super stylized. It's great. It's very like Chinese watercolor painting in some ways. Like,
oh, I can see that. Yeah,
which I love. Like, I
And,
get
I mean,
it. Super expressionistic, but
you've also got the yin and yang thing going, right? Like he's super
yes.
angry, the other one's super chill. Like it's, I mean, it's great. The juxtaposition is great. It just, I don't know, like, you know how sometimes you see like a shot that somebody does, and then you're like, I don't want to get it because like I don't know what I could do better. Like it's almost like I see these and I go, what more could I do with this? You know?
Right.
So, but like, dude, they are, the details on them are great. I will say that.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. Like the sculpting, Maestro Union, Sebadom, like details are not lost on them, man. They get intense. So anyway, it's cool, and I'm glad it's coming. There's a world where, since I'm not buying a dragon, I might circle back, but just to share some of this. And the reason I also wanted to share this is because, again, on that Ninja Turtles tip and the AWOC thing, which folks know that I'm super into, I would say 2023 and 2024 were kind of like this period of like the zeitgeist is all about anthropomorphic animal action figures, whether it was Turtles have been doing it, but there was, of course, Animal Wars of the Kingdom. There's these guys, Fury Planets, a bunch of animals that do gung fu and other stuff. It's like we've got sharks from one company. We've got like there's all sorts of stuff. Lizard people from Savage Crucible. Now we've got Mythic Legions, in the Reign of the Beasts, the lion and their hyena.
Wasn't there another like Kickstarter line too that was like a I want to say it was like a jujitsu zoo. Yeah. Okay. Zoo-jitsu. Okay. I was like jujitsu zoo. That sounds weird. And then it was zoo-jitsu. All right. I was almost there.
Yeah.
All right.
Which were also sculpted by the Horsemen, actually. Like the person hired the Horsemen to work on them. I don't know that, I forget where they landed, but just look at this thing, man. This is sort of in-hand shots by a Key Lion 07. It's like one of my favorite accounts ever because they always get these figures early. I don't know if they're connected to the company or what, and they just kind of will shoot them here next to that the white furred wing with a dope soft goods.
Yeah, that is good soft goods. I bought the extra piece of soft goods for the gi style that came out with it. Yeah,
beautiful.
That's good. That's
but
good.
It's again, I could see this with Turtles because, again, the gung fu versus ninjutsu thing, I don't know what folks are into, but there you can kind of see that gigantic arm cavity. Look at that big old beautiful panda belly. So see, you can kind of see what's going on here. There's a neck joint. It's a barbell, long one, so he can do all sorts of like really low visual aid myself, right? Stuff with his neck that I wouldn't have expected on a there it is. Well, it looks a little weird, but don't be weird. I already made it weird. But yeah, it's cool. So I don't know, more power to him. If you're into this, let me know. You can feel free to try and enable me on this one, folks out there, because I'm saving money and space on a dragon. So that is all, man. That is all. Speaking of, you did get Wang.
I did.
Same company, same line, Fury Planet. I've shared this before, but this sort of series of posts, this series of photos has a couple new shots, but I don't even know if this is meant to be the same character or what.
Yeah.
But it's just beautiful. And I think there you go. It's like, I think this says this head will get Brick's attention.
It's called translates. Yeah.
I dig it. What do you think?
You got it. Okay. So here I like it. It's cool. My problem with it is I think I might like it more if the armor comes off. Because I always worry about figures like this that have so much armor that it then hinders the articulation.
It becomes like a statue.
And it limits you, right? It limits you to what you want to do, right? Like, not that I take 1,000 toy photography shots, but like then you're like, okay, well, I can't do that, even though, so that would be my worry about it. But that I'll tell you, that sculpt is pretty nice. Pretty good sculpt.
Yep,
yeah,
you're
pretty good
right. You're
skull.
right.
That is pretty good.
More than good for sure. This is like that
Yeah.
90s late shag
Yeah.
era. I don't know what's going on, but this is the Bello look. Oh, it's the
Yeah.
same guy. He just had his hair down. So there's Bello.
Yeah.
There's, come on, dude. Vicissitudes. I don't actually even know what that means.
I was gonna say I don't know what that means either. But
And callous. Callous, I understand. Callous is
yeah.
like looking at you and judging you.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. Part
Yeah.
of the issue, like this, the original wing came with that plastic cape. Boo to plastic
Yeah,
cape,
that was
in my
terrible.
opinion.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's like you use it one way and that's it.
Yeah.
So, but come on, dude.
That
I
looks
don't
good.
know.
That's really good. Yeah. Looks
There's
really
something
good.
about his emotional
Yeah.
poetic era, his
Yeah.
college
It's
poetry days.
his emo band days. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
My
yeah.
Chemical Tiger. It's rad. I think
You put him in
it's
the Pink Skull set. He's gonna start a band. Yeah. So
cool scarf, even the scarf, right? I
Scarf
have
works. Yeah.
photos of me with this hair long and the scarf.
Perfect.
So maybe that's what it's
So then
resonating.
you have to get it. All right.
I think so. I was like, oh, I'm not, and then no, I think I'm here, and all that dragon money freed up, dude.
Yeah, that's true. It is. You know what? I feel like this will probably end up being one of those, like, I'm not going to pre-order it, and then I'm going to see a bunch of people get it, and then I'm going to be like, crap. All right, and then I'll buy it. Like that'll be like,
yeah.
Well, like like you're in that like witching hour. I always call it the witching hour between like 12:30 and 1:30 when you're just like doom scrolling, and then you're like, oh man, is this figure available? And you're like, oh, okay, I shouldn't be allowed to purchase anything in that hour. Because that's when I like make all my purchases where I'm like, why'd I get this? Like, why? What? Yeah.
Too close. I just did that the other night.
Yeah.
Too close.
I did it last night. What are you talking about?
You're like, yeah, you're barely like awake, and you're like, oh yeah, I wonder if I can search. I can still get this.
Totally get this figure.
Only $40. Anyways, yes.
Yeah. It's on sale. Totally.
What's wrong with us? Okay. Sorry, this is the sober moment of the show. Okay. Zio skipped the previous taggers, but doesn't know if he'll be able to resist this one. I know. Yes, I will. I was just asking people to disable me on a certain thing, so I'm not going to play the game.
Yeah.
You do you, Zio. Raypaz likes the armor.
Okay, cool.
It's beautiful. But
it's sculpted well. It's sculpted really, really well. I'm wondering how limited, if it's going to limit the articulation. That's all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quip and I on the GDL Discord practice our vocabulary all the time. Yeah. Vicissitudes is an unwelcome change or turn of events. Oh, okay, got it. So he was fighting, and then his enemy accidentally snipped his scrunchie, and then through an unplanned turn of events, his hair
got in
his face.
So it doesn't mean smolder. I thought it was smolder. Okay, so
Josh Brown, I like this one, but do I need a third tiger?
Good call. Good call.
Laughing and crying at the same time is the perfect emoji for that sentiment. Third, do you have the regular wang and the white furred wang? Maybe.
Yeah.
That's how I resisted the other one. And a couple of people are reminding me about things that I wasn't planning on covering, but Justin is asking me, am I gonna get at least one Sofubi Mondo TMNT figure? And that is not because it's bad, but a hard no, because I want to create healthy boundaries. No. If I were to there are some Sofubi that I would even go back and spend more money than retail on, specifically that Man Thing Mondo, the Groman. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but this was a couple years back. I missed out on it. It's a thing of beauty.
Okay. I don't think I've seen it, but yeah. All right.
Here, just because this is here, it's $650, which by the way is
the price of a dragon, maybe.
It's still more than the dragon.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And half of a Metroplex, but
yeah, half a Metroplex. There you
go. It's got Ninja Turtle colors, so that's a thing.
It does have Ninja Turtle.
Anyway, let's move on. We're in this whole martial arts, Asian, deeply Asian, Chinese influenced animal thing. So why not crustaceans? This thing showed up. The Keep Going 112 wait for it, Shrimp Soldier and Crab General. And Myth of Mountains and Seas. I'm not familiar with it, but my favorite figure of this year for the unreleased, unedited best of 2024 video someday from Brick Something is the Mantis Sexy Ice. I know you're familiar with this. Yeah, that's right. I was talking about it, I think, the other day in the chat. The Chamba picked it. I think it was number 2, and somebody picked it for their number 1.
I think Mario picked it for number 1.
Mario. Yes. Yeah, that's right. It technically works, I guess, as a waifu. But that thing is beautiful. It's like a giant bug. You've seen it, right? It's so that has me open to some other weird what do you call them? What do you call it? Like insects and crustaceans with segmented bodies, whatever that type of organism is. My 13-year-old, maybe. No, that doesn't sound right. And I could be totally wrong on the anatomy. You know what? Who cares?
I don't know.
Don't answer my stupid questions. But this thing, it's just neat looking. So this is where, I was talking about the other night when I was late night and buying toys. I started looking at this, hit the people up on, different Discords. Hey, do you know anything about Keep Going? Then enter one Ronald telling me, oh yeah, I have this. Check out my review on the Collection Nexus. And I was like, okay, cool. It's about 11:30. I think it's about time to spend some money. And I pre-ordered I ordered a Keep Going figure. So it looks, what they've done in the past looks cool. I'll definitely wait on these, but ultimately I'm just really excited about action figures, period, man. Like, we're getting all sorts of weird things now where it's like, I know you love Turtles.
Yeah.
I know folks love G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Masters of the Universe, right? That's rad. But like, what else is there in the world? And like, we're in this period where everybody wants to answer that question.
I'm with you on that, and I agree. It's someone wants this, and someone is going to be really happy about it, and I'm thrilled for them. That someone is not me.
Right.
But
fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, they did a great job on it. Right, like the details there. It's got a cool looking face. Like the armor is cool. It looks like it moves really well. But the only crustacean that I think I own as of right now is Pepe the King Prawn. So, that's it.
People in here tell me if I'm stupid for even looking at these things. But if you and when I say these things, I mean plural. It did say
more. Okay.
Shrimp Soldier and Crab General.
So I think that was the other one, the Crab General, because this
I'm assuming because of the color, shrimp. Right? Yeah. Unless this is cooked, but no, I think this is the crab. Right? I mean, so I'm assuming this is.
Yeah, it's got more of a prawn shrimp type of head. This one does. Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
I just.
KJ's in on these. Okay. All right, KJ. I mean, dude, like I said,
KJ.
Good, man.
Thank you,
Ray
KJ.
Cool
Thank
AF.
you, Ray. Yep. Appreciate that.
Again, like I said, like these things could be like fighting what's his name? Let's go. Submarine. Captain Nautilus. Nemo. They could be fighting Captain Nemo. Yeah. Like dude, you can do a great again.
Yep.
Common Rider. Yep. Cool. Great.
Yes.
Again, not for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, now you're selling me without selling me by telling me why it's not for you, and it's working.
Yeah.
Crab.
So wait, do you have a Captain Nemo and crew?
I don't.
Would you like a Captain Nemo to go with these since you're not buying?
Are you making money for the dragon?
I might have some if you need.
I passed on them because I was like, oh, Mezcas are too small, and then like here I am with a new Doc Knock and King Conan, and so maybe we'll talk.
All right. We'll talk.
Nolan's asking, what's up, Nolan?
We'll talk.
Yes. Thank you for stopping in, Nolan. And what IP is this from? It says Myth of Mountains and Seas. So I don't know if that is a thing where this comes from. I'm assuming it's China. But it says the left vanguard, Haiji, and the right vanguard, Lange, are brave and good at fighting and stand out in the army. So there you go. And somebody else was saying, Rick was saying, the crab is a completely different correct. So these are probably like 2 shrimps, maybe.
These are just the shrimps. Okay, one's a shrimp,
One
one's
is
a prawn.
one is cooked, one is not. Deveining these guys. Anyways, I don't know if that's a thing folks are familiar with, but I will say again on that tip, it's like not only are we getting cool toys, but we're getting toys from places that are like not just catering to our brands from the West anymore. They're like, hey, Sun Wukong is a thing you need to know about. Here's a million versions of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need to learn about Kung Fu tigers, and you need to learn about pandas. And you just said yin and yang. It's like, let us visually give you.
Right here.
There you go.
Yeah,
yes,
right
exactly.
Yeah,
that was it. So it's like, let us teach toy collectors about what yin and yang are, and there's some cool stuff going on. Even as you pointed out, the Horsemen have been dabbling into that sort of, arena. We're seeing more and more Asian, particularly Chinese influenced armors. We're seeing some Indian garments in Gaspar, and now they're moving into like Mexica, Aztec Maya stuff with their new, it's rad. Like, we're in this period of just like, yeah, we know you love elves. We know you love dwarves. What about this? We know you love whatever superheroes. How about this? So that's my story. I'm moving on. Okay. So there you go. Thank you, KJ. Thank you, Ray, for helping me. Thank you, Jay Shot, and thank you, folks, for bringing up other stuff that makes me, I hope like my kid's not allergic to these, but and Josh is keeping
have an EpiPen ready when opening, just in case. Yeah.
I'm keeping tabs of every time Brick says never do the math, Josh. Never do the math. Allison and her exes. Oh snap! Crab General reminds me that it's my ex's anniversary of his second ex-wife leaving him. Yes, love it. And Trevor's in too for dinner.
He just ordered this for dinner.
Yes,
he's killing it. He's killing it with these jokes.
Sexy eyes. And Thatchwood Fu, you got it exactly. That's it. So you're. I think you were correct.
I was close. Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
And sure, 3 wings are always better than 1.
Sure.
Okay. Remember that Metroplex?
Yeah.
Remember the idea of getting like one big thing, and that's
and that's it.
I thought that was a Thunder Tank. A lot of us thought that was a Thunder Tank, right? Like, when are you gonna get Thundercats Thunder Tank? That's wild, cool. We're done collecting. Just make the rest of the figures. We're done. And then Super 7's like,
no, you're not.
And these things have been shipping. I know Thanos did his unboxing the other week for us, and we kind of just watched him. It was beautiful. It was like Christmas Day watching someone open up like this beautiful toy, walking us through it, and the scale is crazy. Thanos is not a small guy, but like he looked small next to this toy.
Man, and I know Chris, Toy Father, has one of these coming. So if Thanos looks small next to it, Chris is going to look like he can walk through the door.
What are you talking about? Chris is a giant. I learned this at Legion's Con.
In 1/12 scale, sure. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Chris. Chris's arms will make.
Yeah, I know. Anyway. Chris is built.
He'll make the arms look these things look small.
Yeah.
But this is cool, man. This is exactly what I mean. Like, this is your centerpiece. This is you getting to like celebrate that you love Thundercats, that Super 7 has been releasing these figures despite what, I've heard some folks in some circles be all haterish around Super 7 in general and Thundercats. But I'm like, hey, if you're a Thundercats fan in the 21st century, you love that IP. This is it right here. This is this is it. This is what you've achieved a thing. Anyways, that's all. I don't really have anything more to say.
No, I mean, like, I would love to speak more on it. I don't Thundercat. So, I remember seeing this at San Diego when they were still, doing their, I guess it wasn't like Kickstarter, but fundraising kind of for it. And talking with Kyle about it. It's gorgeous, and the inside is gorgeous. And again, like, I would say NECA and Super 7 are both two companies that are fans who are making stuff
Yes.
for fans, right? So like
Clearly.
the detail or the like accessory that was in one episode that you are going to appreciate the hell out of, that they're going to spend the time to sculpt and make, that stuff is all in this. And I love that. And I love that again for Thundercat fans. But like this is speaking as a Ninja Turtle guy, this is insanity to own. And I think like even like I remember Chris talking about it too. Like he's like, it's like 3 boxes it comes in. One is just the accessory pieces. I got to be honest with you. I had, when I was a kid, I had the Thundercats layer. I had that thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like I had it. And I said this to Kyle. I go, your biggest miss was not making the little laser thing in the cat's head. Like, and he goes, yeah, but that wasn't in the show. I was like, no, but like we all love that. Like, so that was, like that was the one thing I wish it had. But I know why it doesn't have.
Poor Kyle. Just because like here they are designing one of like the pinnacles of the Thundercats pieces ever, and you're like,
and some idiot comes up and is like, what about the laser cannon in its head? Yeah, shut up. He's like, shut up, J-Shot, go away. So this is absolutely incredible. This thing is insane. Yeah. And again, this is how we talked about it for Transformer fans, the same way you talk about it for Super 7 for Thundercat fans. If you love this stuff, you guys got to be over the moon right now. Mm-hmm. Like you have to be the excitement, like you said, Christmas morning. This is the equivalent of getting a friggin' Xbox, N64 when we were kids, or a Super Nintendo. Like, you guys gotta be stoked. This thing is beautiful. It's gorgeous. I would love Thanos. I don't know where you are. I'd love to come over and hang out and see this thing.
That's what I told him. I was like, you're like 4 hours away. Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna swing by Chris's house when it's next time I'm up that way. But for sure.
Oh yeah. Like, check this out. Like this, I asked him, hey, can we see the back? Because he quickly showed me the rock work while he was unboxing. It's total like the nostalgia, of course, just for the Thundercats was one thing, but then I was like straight up Contra level 3.
Oh yeah,
going up, and I was like, damn, that's amazing.
Buy Thundercat layer to shoot Contra figures. Cool, great.
Yeah. Shout out to Thanos for opening this up for all of us over. This was over on Ostradamus Toys channel. Oh, cool. I think this was it New Year's? No, it was the top 20. It was the top 10 toy pickups of 2024 last weekend. You can check it out there. I will tell you that there were some QC issues that he ran into. Super 7's working on replacing it, and so it is what it is. But it'll get taken care of. But this thing, man, it's killer. So anyways, this is we want more Thundercats. Thank you for posting this. It's of Demos Zane's collection. I just thought it was cool because of all the figures, and I'm like, this is it.
The figures give it a good scale too. They really show you a good scale.
Definitely. And just like the achievement, right? As a collector, you're like, wow,
look at that.
I have this thing here.
Yeah.
I've achieved a thing. Anyways, let's see. He did say where I lost it. He did say it is massive, 100%. Larry's waiting for his, so it'll be there. Be ready. I'm telling you, make space. It's huge. Because it did this. It totally, an item that big motivated Thanos to like completely overhaul his room. Rearrange his house actually to make it happen, and it's actually for the better because now he's got a bunch of cool things going on now, like workspace and stuff. So Super 7 Quip has been slipping for a while, but they usually do right by Thundercats. Yeah, and they're really doing a great job with this. I hope someone else gets a crack at Thundercats. Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, Mattel is going to be doing these sort of merged Origins figures with Motu.
Okay.
Have you been keeping tabs on that at all?
The Motu stuff? I mean, not the Thundercats thing. I mean, like Motu is just like everywhere, and the merge. Yes. Motu's been merging with everyone too.
Exactly.
I saw I saw the Stranger Things Motu thing, which was actually cool. Like the Demigorgon.
There's a Stranger Things. Cool. There's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Familiar.
I've heard of these turtles.
Yeah. There's gonna be a Thundercats. Thundercats crossover and there's now that they just sort of, I don't know if it was a leak or revealed Transformers. So they're just all about
Of
it.
course.
They're trying to basically, reinvigorate and rejuvenate the Motu brand by making some connections, I guess. So Rick Jones, you're not wrong. I totally get it. Super 7 archaic in articulation. There's room for improvement. Absolutely. That said, some of my favorite figures are not necessarily the most articulated ones.
I will say this. Again, not a guy who collects Thundercats, so can't speak about that. But Super 7 does listen. So I will say that. Super 7 as a company does listen. So room, if you think that there's room for improvement, politely and in a nice way, make your voice heard. And I'm sure that they will try to make it happen. But be nice, be respectful. Remember that these are people. Yeah.
They are, and they're good people. They're awesome.
They're very good people.
Yeah. But the Ninja Turtles in particular is the first one that's going to get double elbows, right?
Yep, double elbows. Yep.
KJ is yeah, did anybody get 2? If you did,
you got 2. Where are you putting them?
No. So it was over on Ostradamus Toys Clubhouse last Saturday. Check it out. And see, there you go. You got to figure it out, man. Seriously, it's no joke. You gotta make it. You're gonna have to do some rearranging. What's up, Pains? Great to see you. Glad you could make it today. Let's move on. But all that to say is, if you've got a thing, a passion, whether it's Transformers, Thundercats, and of course Ninja Turtles, people are being, as people have used this phrase a lot, but people are being fed. They are.
Yeah.
And it started with, again, that Thunder Tank. It was like we thought that was it. Then it was like, no, here's a cat's lair. And I guess my question is, when does it sort of stop? Like, are they just going to keep trying to find ways to like give and give? Because if you listen to some of these collectors, they're like, why can't we get this other thing? And I always wonder about that. What's the threshold?
I think I think it always depends on the collector, right? So like for a casual collector, this is probably it, right? Or the Thunder Tank was it. And they're like, I don't need a cat's lair, right? For the next, like, you think about it as collectors, like levels, right? So like somebody out there was like, hey man, I collect Thundercats. I've got my basic set of figures and I got the Thunder Tank. I'm good. Somebody was like, no, I need the cat's lair, right? And now somebody out there is going, to your point, well, I need Mum Ra's chamber.
Right.
Okay. Right. Someone's going to want it. Like, so I'm sure they could keep going for the diehard Thundercat fan. I'm sure they could keep going to the point where they make the spaceship that Lion-O and team originally arrive in. Like, see, I know what they are. I just don't collect them. Right. Got to draw the line. Got to draw the line. Kids got to go to college eventually. Got to draw the line.
Yeah.
Don't remind me. Yeah. So like, I'm like, there's always gonna be that, But like again, somebody like a Super 7, they listen. So like, I think the smart thing was to say, hey, we can make this, but we're gonna need X amount of people to help fund this. I don't think that's a bad idea. It's this way that they're not sitting on stock, the same way that Marvel, or Hasbro team does, their crowdfunding. I mean, I actually appreciate what they did instead of I can't think of the name of the HasLab. Instead of doing the HasLab, where they were like, "Hey, we're going to do Sentinels," right? Like,
right,
right. It's not there's no tiers, there's no unlock. You're just going to pre-order it. We're going to make them, and then that's it. But by the way, that's it. We're not doing more. Like Super 7's not going to turn around now and be like, "Hey, second wave of the Thundercats out, Thundercat layer is out. Come get it." They're not sitting on that stock, and they shouldn't have to. That's the other thing. Like, could there be another set in 10 years that comes out with this and is brand new, and maybe they include the little laser gun? Maybe, I don't know. If they do, you're welcome. But like, like in 10 years from now, maybe. But like, you're not. I don't think. I can't imagine, and I could be totally wrong. I can't imagine for the next 10 years you're going to see somebody else or Super 7 put out another Cat's Lair, unless it's a third-party company that's not going to pay for the licensing.
Right. Oh man, the world we are in. It's oh god, the real world's creeping in real quick. I will say the real world is scaring me these days, but this stuff is amazing. So it's just weird. It's like a weird contrast. It's like, anyways, Thanos, one last thing. If you could do a shot where you shine a light from this side and get the shadow, I've always I need to see it. Anyway,
you
this
saw
thing
the
is
you saw the comparison that was like Thundercats are cats, and they put a giant laser pointer in the sky to get their attention, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we
yeah,
draw,
yeah,
okay, all right.
yeah. What I also appreciate, I should have shot, I didn't prep it, but Thanos is also most of his shots of this thing have been with Animal Warriors of the Kingdom figures in it. So it's just like, oh, yeah, that's great. It's absolutely a centerpiece. Absolutely, they have good customer service and they will address issues. Motu Thundercats crossover will be interesting. We'll see all about that, but I'm with you. Like those Stranger Things figures turned out to be some of the better ones, especially the one that came out with the He-Man's, like one of the best He-Man that they've released since the 80s. Look at this guy. The daddies are everywhere. Yimbo. Hello, you wonderful gentlemen. Just saying hi before I go live. Yes, there's so many crazy shows on a Sunday like you. I'm the warm-up for Yimbo. Hey man, I hope you have a good week back in the classroom. Anyway, solidarity teachers. So yeah, head over there, dude. This show sucks. No offense.
Hey,
it's not you, it's me. Okay. Moving on. Okay, we're gonna skip past this. I'm gonna call an audible because we were talking about Super 7, and I want to get to this for a second. We're talking about Transformers getting fed with a gigantic thing. By the way, I didn't mention this. They got a Unicron.
Yeah.
Right?
A couple years ago, right? Yeah.
Which is supposed to be a planet. I'm sorry, part of me is just laughing because it's like, here comes this third party who's like, here's a giant Metroplex that's bigger than your Unicron. Deal with it. Anyway, there's that. And then we were just talking about how, like, yeah, you get a cat's lair and that's your centerpiece and you're collecting. And I asked, hey, at what point do you sort of stop? How do you draw boundaries? And I know that you love turtles. As everybody here who's watching knows, everybody's doing turtles. Turtles are everywhere in all sorts of shapes, sizes, right? You've got your Super 7s, you've got your NECA, you've got other ones, right? So here we got Super 7 with the Ultimates. You've got NECA, and thank you for the idea of bringing this up. I appreciate it. Showing all of their different turtle offerings, whether it's movie stuff, Mirage stuff, monster mashup stuff. What else did I not miss? Oh, this doesn't even have all of the Mirage stuff. And
no, this is just the movie line stuff. Yeah.
And then, you've got folks from overseas doing Medi Toys, or it's actually Lee. I'm going to mess up the name, so I'm not going to say it, but it's the sort of more official form of Medi Toys. Li Jinghuan, I think is what it is. I might be messing that up. Doing their turtles, which look cool. And then you've got are these 118 Joy Toy?
Yeah, Joy Toy. Yep, 118. Yep.
God, some of it's so small, but it's like some of the best sculpts out there.
Some of the best sculpts. Yeah.
You got Heat Boys who were doing these like Transformer-ish Mecha Gundam looking things that would be turtles, and then they're like, hey, we want to do actual turtles too. Like, I mean, we could go on, and then that's you. But like, there's more. There's Rage Toys. There's how do you make sense of it as a turtles collector? Mezco, I didn't even mention. Yeah, how do you make sense of that? How do you handle
that? You don't make sense of it.
None of this makes sense.
You just don't. None of it makes sense, right? Like we're first off, we're grown men playing with toys. None of this makes sense.
Sure.
So
fair enough.
So fair and fair. Do what you want, collect what you want, and have fun with it. That's my take. But no, as a turtle head, I have my like must-haves, and I have my like, okay, this is getting ridiculous, right? My cartoon line, the NECA cartoon line, is my have to gets, right?
Okay.
Like I am a completionist with the cartoon line.
So this thing right here, you've got most of these checked off.
I think I have damn near everything on that list.
This first yellow section. Okay.
Yeah, I think like you scroll down. I think I've got everything on that whole checklist.
All the way down.
And yeah, because those are the yellows. Yellows are heroes and orange are villains.
Oh, villains.
Yeah. So I mean, as long as it's been released, I'm pretty sure I have it on the cartoon, because the cartoon is like, that is something special to me. The cartoon is like my childhood. This is it. Like, this is what I love. And by the way, this is also my favorite thing to shoot, right? Like, this is what I love to do, and I love to play with, right?
Oh yeah.
So that is an absolute must get for me. The comic stuff, the Mirage stuff is something that is new and I'm kind of like playing into. I made it like kind of a 2024 goal to go back and start to read the comics from
to start to
1.
read. Congratulations.
Yes, to start to read. I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Like you're doing Hooked on Phonics?
Yeah,
What are you doing?
Hooked on Phonics. I'm doing well. I'm doing Wootsy. That's a throwback.
Congratulations.
To start to read the comics from issue 1 on. So I've been progressing my way through that.
That's how I was introduced to the Turtles, by the way. There was a graphic novel that collected the first ones, black and white. Beautiful
so
stuff.
a friend of mine for my 40th birthday a couple of years ago got me an omnibus. And like that was great, but I didn't open that. I went and bought like the digital version because I was like, this is too pretty to open. So I'm like trying to get into the Mirage stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to get into. I love the Mirage stuff because the Mirage stuff is beautiful, but I'm trying to appreciate the Mirage stuff more by going back into the comic books.
Okay,
because
I translated to toys then.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like I collected the toys, but then I was like, I really should go back and get the figures. I mean, I got the figures knowing the history, but I was like, I really should go back and read it to appreciate the figures more. But I will say that
you were complete on these two. Sorry to interrupt, but did you say you were...
So like here's where it gets wonky for me. Like I have some of those red colorways, and I'm like, why? Why do I need the red colorways?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, why do I need the red colorways? But okay, why do I need the blue colorways? Like, that's where I'm starting to get like, I'll be honest with you, the black and white though, the black and white I really like. I really like the black and white.
I mean, come on.
So yeah, the black and white's classic. So I'm not a completionist on that because I don't think that I have the original Shredder that came out. Like I don't have the original like San Diego Comic-Con foot pack is just way like it's crazy expensive right now. But I love the last run, and I'm actually, I wouldn't say consider myself friends with Ben Bishop, but friendly with Ben Bishop, who does the artwork for that. So like that's something that's really cool to collect for me and have conversations with him about. The Archie stuff is really cool because they're just fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like the wrestling turtles are some of my favorite. Like, this figure's been on my desk since I got it. Like he didn't make my top 10. He didn't make my top 10 list, but like he's been on my desk since I got it.
Yeah, I appreciate these in my Target. I'm always kind of looking at them because they look great. They do look
awesome.
like they popped off the comic page. So
I would say like NECA is my line for Turtles.
Okay.
Now Super 7, and I think we talked about this a little bit backstage. Like Super 7 made better versions of the figures we had growing up, right? Mm-hmm. Like they took the Playmates figures and just brought them into the modern world, and I love that. From a nostalgia standpoint, it's awesome. I have a bunch of these. I don't collect them in a sense of like I must get all of them. I haven't even opened them. They're really just I wanted it. It looks cool. I kind of stuck to like the core 4 plus like a foot soldier here, a shredder here. I certainly didn't go and get like I think I have like 15 foot soldiers, right? Like from the NECA line. Like I didn't do that for Super 7. I know it's ridiculous. I hate money. That's what it boils down to. I hate money.
Yeah, you can't keep it.
But I am really excited about the 2003. I always get the time like 2003 line. Super awesome. Now, mind you, I didn't watch the 2003 cartoon when it came out. That I went backtrack and watch, which was how I was like, holy crap, this really ties back to the original comic series. So if you haven't, I don't know if you've watched the 2003 series.
I never did.
If you like the comic books, that's the closest adaptation to the comic books.
That's what I've heard.
It's really good, dude. It's really good. So that's I would say if you're strictly nostalgia, classic 89 cartoon is my favorite. Story-wise, the 2003 is my favorite adaptation story-wise.
And because of that fact, does that make you likely to go after those figures when they come out from Super 7?
I already pre-ordered them. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I pre-ordered them.
It's amazing to me. That's like, it's okay.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Yeah, well, but also like you said, right? They're the first ones from Super 7 to have the double joints. Like it's the first time those figures. Sorry, I just dropped Leatherhead, so now I got to make sure he's okay. For the first time that those figures are really going to get the treatment that they deserve. So I was like, yeah, no, I got to get these because again, if I don't order them now, if I don't pre-order them, we've all seen this, you're going to end up paying through the nose for them later. So I'm also a sucker for like pre-order and get these extra heads with it. It's like, oh, I need those heads. I gotta get them. I gotta get them. So
yeah,
so that's where I am now. When we start getting into the Fury planets and the Joy Toy, and the Medi Toy, it's like, okay, like how deep are we gonna go? These look dope. I have these on pre-order strictly because they look awesome.
I'm laughing. No, dude,
laugh away.
You.
Laugh away. No, laugh away.
It's joy.
Laugh
it's
away.
Amazing.
Because these look so good. They're like,
they really do.
If Ninja Turtles were introduced today, this is what they would look like.
Yeah.
Right? Like these are awesome. I love the full head bandana on Raph. One of my favorite styles. Like this is how the Michael Bay movie should have been. You know, like this is what they should have looked like.
Easily.
Like 100%. But again, it's also like one of these things where it's like, we're not going to get 30 figures deep into this line on these things, right? You're going to get the four brothers, and then they're going to fight the same foot soldiers I already have. Right. Or, you know, maybe for you're going to get them and they're going to fight the crab army that you now acquired. Like,
because again, you're right, because these aesthetically are working a little bit more with what I've got on my shelf. Like, and there was another one. It's totally random. I don't even think they've actually released. They haven't released yet because I've had it on pre-order. These almost tortoise looking. There's a tortoise looking Leonardo. It doesn't matter. But like I went for the more like photorealistic stuff. So I mentioned that I only have one, and that's the Rage Toys Rat, the Master, which is not the best articulated figure, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
And I lied. As you were talking about Super 7, I realized, no, there is one turtle toy that I have from them that I love.
One, right? It's the one you got?
No, yes, that is the one I have.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that guy, but I wish he moved a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But the Super 7 that I got is oh God, help me out. It's is it Radioactive Man? Where he's like got no body, he's in like a big tub and Mutagen Man.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Beautiful figure. Like so damn cool.
Yeah.
And those are the only weirdo turtles that I have because they kind of could fit in if I squint my eyes. They're a little less on the cartoony side.
Right.
And then this could work. So I don't know. I'm thinking about them, but they're huge too. These guys are kind of gigantic, right?
They're going to be, I think they're 6.5, 7. So they're right in that NECA line.
Okay. Well, maybe it's the Heat Boys that are extra big because
the Heat Boys are, So I have the Heat Boys mechs. I have 3 of the 4 Heat Boys mechs because they're so wild and out there. I was like, all right, this is just different. This is fun. These I think I'm going to pass on. Okay. So that might be the first time you heard me say this tonight.
I appreciate your restraint.
Yeah. I got to draw the line somewhere. They look awesome, but like for me, it's like, okay, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, now if these release the same time as the Medi toys, that might have been a little bit more of a battle. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I like that Heat Boys were doing something so different. And then they put these out around the same times as the Medi toys. And I just really like the sculpt of the Medi toys. I was like, I don't know. Like, these look cool. Like, they got, like, cool little, like, accessories to, like, really personalize them.
Yeah,
and, like,
Donnie.
the Donnie looks great. Like, I mean, it looks great. But, but the scale, they're going to be, I think they're, like, 8
almost
or 9
8
inches.
Yeah, like
that's like, okay, what is that going with? You know? What's that?
They're giant ogres in this dimension. I don't know.
Yeah, like that's fighting the dragon. Like now I gotta go get the dragon. Like, you know, like,
I didn't even catch that he has.
I didn't catch that either. That's weird. He's got one boxing glove. What's happening?
No, he's got another one down here.
Oh, okay. All right. So now he's got 2 boxing gloves. All right. Does he come with a regular hand too? I don't know. Like the crossbody's pretty cool. I like the crossbody on there. That's great. And then the headphones. But I don't know. Like I don't know. I just I love that they made the mechs because they're supposed to be doing like, you know, a mech April and a mech Shredder. And I was like, okay, that could be fun. Like we can go whole different line here, like doing something way out there. But like now we're like, okay, I don't know if I need this. So
well, let me ask you this. So I've heard what you're saying. At one point I was internally laughing again. I swear with you, not at you, when you said NECA's my line.
Yeah.
I'm like, NECA's not a line. NECA's a brand with like 5 Turtles lines.
Yeah.
But I love it, man. The thing is, even within NECA, let's just talk NECA. They're doing multiple lines of turtles, and from where I stand, none of them are bad. They all look really good. The Mirage thing does exactly that. It takes a Mirage style, puts them in plastic. They did the same thing with the Archie stuff, the Last Ronin stuff, the cartoon. Good. So it's like, man, it's all good. How do you not? So I understand your predicament, but I don't know. So I'll flip it now. Here's the question, because this came up in a conversation the other day around Masters of the Universe and the reaction to all the casting news and stuff for this new movie. And you get people who are like upset and they want a certain thing to be done. What is it about Ninja Turtles that allows for all of this variety? And you just mentioned mechs, a mech April, which like on the face of it doesn't make any sense. Not that a mech Leonardo or Raphael does, but and it just seems like Turtles fans just like, cool. What else you got?
What else?
What is it? Are Turtles fans built differently? Is the Turtle brand different? How does it seem immune to the I don't know, the fan gatekeeping, that not my Turtles kind of thing? It's
not immune to it at all, dude. Like that's what I think. Like I would say,
your Quip is agreeing with you.
Yeah, the Turtle fans are super toxic. And
tell me more. Educate me.
God, dude. I mean, like I don't know if you remember when the new Ninja Turtles movie that came out. Which, by the way, those Playmates figures, I got those Playmates figures too. Like, oh, sorry, my kids got those.
That's
Playmates
right.
figures.
Playmates made, yeah.
That's right. Hand figures. These are my kids' toys. These aren't mine.
Yeah.
These are my kids' toys.
Sure.
They just happen to be right here. Yeah,
you're right. I sorry, real quickly, I was selectively blanking for some reason on that. To me, that's a larger cultural thing that's happening right now in this moment in the United States, where it's like people are like, oh, don't bring in people of color or women or whatever. Like I get that, but still, if I may, like you just mentioned the 2000 whatever Turtles, right? I was reading Mirage in like the late 80s. Then there was these cartoons, and like I was like, wow, these are different from what I remember in the comic, but like, hey, whatever, cool. And then there was the movie that kind of went back to but like there was never it just seemed like we got at some point used to lots of different Turtles in a way that I don't see it happening for other brands.
So I think it's because the licensing is different, right? Like, and I'm not going to pretend to know everything about the licensing, but no, the fans are completely toxic. There's no question about it. So
fair enough.
Yeah, but what I will say
real quick, I was hopeful. I thought maybe there's like this.
No. But what I'll say though is that the nice thing is that they keep the story. The essential story stays the same, right? It's four brothers that are raised by a father to fight evil in whatever form it is, right? So that's a basic story. But what I love about the Ninja Turtles, and the same thing, right? It keeps reintroducing itself or reinventing itself, and then it keeps reinventing itself in a way that, it reaches the masses in a different audience, but also allows you to reintroduce that audience the same way, right? I took my 6 and 11-year-old kids to go see Ninja Turtles in the theater. Was it my Ninja Turtles? No. Was it still a blast? Hell yeah. And it was made by people who were my age, who loved and had a passion for Ninja Turtles and wanted to tell that story in a different way. And they did an amazing job, right? Like Seth Rogen was the main producer on it.
I love that movie.
Job. That movie was amazing. Really the music was incredible. Yeah. And, for people talking about Black April, I'm pretty sure April was black in the comics.
Yes, yeah.
So, like, get over it.
She had a natural.
She's a character.
Right.
She can be whatever color she needs to be.
Right.
Like, it's not like, don't focus on that. We want to talk about controversy. Let's talk about the butt cheeks on the Medi Toys Turtles. Let's talk about that. like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
well, aside from the movie stuff, there was still a movie. Was it just last year? There was still a new animated movie by Seth Rogen that was made. It came out. It spawned an animated show. That's not true. And so before that, there was the live action Michael Bay. Yeah, there's the new video game. So it's like it seems like it is one of these. I made the pun in the video description. Evergreen. products in a like, for some reason it seems more evergreen. And I think you hit the nail on the head that the story doesn't change, and that's a piece, and it's kind of a clear through line and connection between these. But I will say, I don't know, there's something about it where it seems like even the older fans of the previous iteration, it seems like either they accept it more or maybe don't come out against it as loudly or something than others, or maybe I'm just the grass is greener.
I think they come out. I think they come out, but it may not be as loud, right? So it's maybe it comes out within the turtle community.
Okay.
But like at the same time, it's also one of these things like where I am always just like, we got new turtles, shut up. Like,
right.
Like, shut up. We got new turtles. Which means we're gonna get new other stuff. Like, and for me too, like, and by the way, I went to school for film. I went to school for film theory. Mm-hmm. You think like there are times where I could sit down and I could pull apart a 3-minute short and rip it apart to tell you what is the worst thing about it. There's also times when I could sit down and watch an episode of Barney the Dinosaur and tell you why it's beautiful. Right?
Totally.
It's a pup. Movies were made to entertain. That was the first thing they were made to do. The second thing was to entertain and inform. So sit down and watch a movie and have fun.
Right.
Like, it's a popcorn movie. It's got great music. The art and animation in that was beautiful.
Jay Shot, I appreciate you so much, man. Exactly. Yes. And it trips me out because, again, the Motu thing's happening. Star Wars, which I love, is near and dear to my heart. People are always sort of like, Skeleton Crew, no, that's okay, but this is bad.
Skeleton Crew's amazing.
MCU, I'm hearing people like, I get it. This is what I said this morning in a conversation that people were having online about the MCU, about how like it fell off after Endgame and it's horrible now and whatever. My thing is this, 2 things. It's like the MCU has managed to do something in film history in Hollywood that has never been done before. It is the first truly mega franchise built up of multiple franchises, sequels upon sequels that are all like, it's wild. It's the stuff that other studios envy.
100%.
And so it's like, people were pointing out how like, oh, so great when Iron Man came out, and like, but we don't get that anymore. I was like, man, even in their worst day, whichever you choose to point out, whichever film you choose to point out, it may be, I say, one of the least popular, because at the end of the day, there's a fan. You said this earlier. There's a fan of shrimp toys. There's a fan of like, so none of those movies are universally hated. There are people who are like, I'll ride or die for whatever, the Marvels. I'll ride or die for Shang-Chi. And so it's just that they have expanded so large that they can cater to all these different pocket demographics. And also, it's the 21st century, folks. The internet is here. The days of the 80s monolithic audience that loves a thing is gone. We don't watch Ninja Turtles at 3:30 or whatever it was, because that's one of the few channels on, then go to school and talk with other kids about Ninja Turtles anymore.
Right.
I teach in high schools. Some kids are talking about this TikTok video. Some people are talking about this musical artist. Some people are talking about this shoe, but they're all having different conversations about different things. And we don't have that same kind of 80s coming together as much. No. And so I don't know. I think at the end of the day, this is where I was going with this. On its worst day, its worst movie, an MCU movie, you've got another studio, Universal, Paramount, whoever, going, God damn it, I wish we had something like this.
I wish we made the Marvels, right? You don't think DC's out here saying, I wish we made a box office flop like the Marvels, right? And by the way, I'm not shitting on the Marvels. Like, that's just like, you know what I mean? And by the way, so my thing is like, look, do I love everything the MCU's ever made? No. Do I love every version of every Ninja Turtles thing? No. Do I love every Star Wars thing that ever came out? No. But I recognize that it is a privilege to complain about all the new content we got, right?
Bingo.
Trevor, who is the biggest Star Wars fan that I know, had to wait 40 years before he got new Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
And I know he hasn't been happy with it lately, but yes.
That's fine. That's fine. But he gets now to complain about it. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. And to your point, right? Yes, Amen. Kamala Khan may not be made for the middle-aged white guy. Shocker.
Right.
Shocker.
Right.
But you know what? My kid sat down with me and watched the show from start to finish a whole series, and she was like, "Hey, that girl's young like me,
Yeah,
and she's a
100%.
superhero." And I went, "Yes, she is. Yes, she is."
I have friends who watch that and aren't even big MCU people, but they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they're telling stories about my community."
Right.
And what that does is it brings new people into Marvel. And it's
Yeah.
if we love these things, you kind of gotta sometimes step out of the way.
And look, representation matters, and like
Mhm.
that, I understand that me saying that as a middle-aged white guy is like may sound like I'm getting on a bandwagon, but like at
Wait,
the
you're
same
white?
time,
No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Sorry. Did we just discover this? I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I'm Italian American. Yeah. Like
No,
sorry guys. Hate to break it to you. Why is my screen black? No, I'm kidding. That's it. I'm off the show. Yeah.
No,
But like,
that's
but it matters.
yeah.
Like, it matters. And I'm seeing it not just like from my perspective, but like seeing it from my daughter's perspective. Like,
Yep.
like it matters. And by the way, I grew up in a film and theater community with many races, many people, of different sexes and,
Yep.
religions, race, whatever. Like,
Mhm.
it matters. It matters to see those people on screen.
Yeah.
So that's my hot take. Sorry.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I
Yeah.
appreciate your take, and I appreciate what you do with toys, sir.
Hell yeah.
Because this is Jay Shot's Instagram, and he's also, hence the shot, a photographer that has taken some really cool shots of toys that I would have, I'll be honest, not have thought would have been that interesting. And some of those toys kind of get a lot of attention. So this one, for example, this McFarlane Batman 66 figures, which is like actually, believe it or not, less articulated than the normal standard McFarlane figure, which I think are fine. I'm not totally hating. I have a couple of McFarlanes, but these are less so. When I discovered that, and I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that like the legs were done in this way or whatever. But you capture the heart of the figure in some of your, like this is, I'm waiting for the bam, pow. Like I grew up on this Batman, and this was great, and it got you some attention.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the Adam West Batman show was like one of my favorites, and the whole, some days you can't get rid of a bomb. Like that was like that line, dude. Man, just stayed with me. And Machu gifted me this figure, and I was like, well, I know what I'm doing with this figure. And we were like, hey, we're gonna do a, we all got together and we were like, we're gonna do a Batman collab, and I was like, all right, cool. And my favorite thing about this was like I like pushed myself a little bit, so I built the like Dio set there, right? So I built that deck, the dock. It's just like twigs and twine hot glued together, and then I was like, oh, I need nuns, right? Like nuns were a key part of that scene. And I was like, let me go buy a nun figure, and I was like $35 or $40 for the nun conjuring figure, and I was like, that's way expensive. They're just going to be in the background. I bet you I could just go get cloth. And that's exactly what I did. So, I pushed myself, and, and I don't collect a lot of Batman figures, mainly because like I really love Batman. But like, it's one of those things where like, sometimes, like when you love something, so like, I'm a huge Iron Man fan. I don't shoot Iron Man that much, but like, I have a ton of Iron Man figures. Cause it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, I really love Iron Man. I don't want to screw this up. I really love Batman. I don't want to screw this up. So like, when this got noticed by McFarlane, everybody was like, you don't even collect McFarlane. I was like, I know. I feel like a poser. Like, leave me alone. But
I kind of hinted at that, but you kind of moved past it. But can you tell us what it means by being noticed by McFarlane?
So McFarlane shared it on their page. I think if you go to their page, it's featured there, which was awesome. But when they reached out, one of the things they said was like, hey, this looks like a toy shot. And like that actually made me feel good. Like so many people do these amazing photographs where it's like you don't even know if it's a toy, and like to me this is like, well, this captures the fun of like playing with it, right? Like it's not the best pose, it's not the best background, it's not the best lighting, but it's a fun shot, and you immediately get it too, right? Like you're immediately 100%. Transported to that movie.
Instant readability for sure. Yeah, that's it right there. And I'm glad that I got you the attention. Did you end up seeing like a lot of views on, or like how does that work? I'm not really good at Instagram.
I don't know.
Whatever. It's cool.
I was just happy. I was just, they reached out. They were like, it's a fun shot. Can we share it? And I was like, hell yeah, you can. It's your figure. You do what you want. So
well done. I didn't realize like all the entire thing was made from from scratch. Well,
Yeah,
well
the
done.
Dio piece in the back is from a Dio maker, but like, yeah, no, I made the nun costumes. You could actually like, I got parts of it here, so, and it's just, it's just like, I just hot glued the wire cape under like a wire it's really simple. So,
I know you're
quick and
saying you
dirty.
don't have a lot of Batman figures, but actually
I
that's
do.
not the one I meant, but whatever. Let's talk about this one first and then I'll go to Batman. Let's talk about
Yeah.
Casey Jones, who's kind of like a Batman, kind
Kind
of
of like a Batman. Kind of. He is a vigilante.
vigilante, but he's maybe less imagination in terms
Yeah.
of costume. But this was a dope shot too. Like, it's mood,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
like, if you know the characters, especially, like, let's go, these two together about to do some damage. It's cool.
Yeah, this was fun. And that Casey, the Mezco Casey figure, man, is one of the best. And I know
Yeah.
people are still waiting on it. And I know that shipping wasn't great with it, and but it is probably one of the coolest figures. And those Mezco turtles, dude, the fact that they gave us 2 sets in 1 year,
Those should have been the one that I got, to be honest. Like, I think
honestly, yeah. Like, if you weren't good, like, because again, it's like, how, I don't know how deep they're gonna go, but I would love to see what they would do with like an April and a Shredder. Like, I would love to see that.
There you go again, dude.
Yeah,
You
so I
could
know,
have
that's what I'm saying. I know. So give me a bunch of foot soldiers. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, dude. Like, but to me too, this is one of those like quick shots too, where like you end up like posing the figure on your desk for a little while, and you're like, huh, I wonder if it like goes well with this, and then you're like, huh, all right, cool. I wonder if I just grab the light wand and put it over here, and you're like, oh, okay. All of a sudden, I got this coming together here. So, and I think cool. That is, it's a 78 points Dio in the background. He did a great job with that Mirage Dio.
He does great job.
He's great work. He really does. He really does.
Hey, do you just have the one shot of this? Do you end up taking like 50 shots and then pick the one? What's your way of working?
I end up probably taking somewhere between 30 and 40 shots.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I usually just like, I'll mentally be like, okay, I really like that one. Let me tweak this. Let me tweak that. Let me move this. And then I'll bring it into Lightroom. I try not to do a lot of Photoshop.
Okay.
Then that's just because like I'm not the best in Photoshop, but I've always been a practical effects kind of guy. But like, but also there's a whole art to, the like digital aspect of it.
Sure.
So, I'm trying to build myself up with that, but like, this was a simple shot, right? It was just a very simple, put the camera low, angle it up, take a shot, so
moody lighting too, though.
Moody
and then
lighting.
Your selective focus too. It's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you, man. I love just seeing all the talent and the joy in our sort of modern version of toy collectors. Yeah. Okay, this is where I was going earlier. You don't have a lot of Batman. I know it's not a McFarlane, but this is rad. Like, this is well, they've crossed over. I don't. Have they had a crossover? They have, right?
Yeah.
I know the cartoon, but have they had the comic cartoon?
Yeah.
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 Not on my radar, but this is great. This shot is great.
Yeah. So I'm in a bunch of collabs or like bunch of groups, and I swear to God, if I wasn't in collabs, I probably wouldn't shoot as much. Because they like force you to shoot, right? Because you're like, I'll get to it when I get to it. Right. And that is one of my like trying to like be better about this year, where it's like I gotta shoot more. But yeah, this was we were doing a Batman Ninja Turtle collab, and just kind of like, again, I had that raft on my desk. I was like just playing with it, and I really liked, again, people, not my Batman. I love that Batman movie. I love the Penguin series.
Penguin was great.
Penguin was great. I actually think Penguin did a great job of making the Batman better.
Yes.
So I love that's the Mafex Batman that has the Marvel tramp stamp. So it's I don't know, have you heard?
No,
it was like the misprint. So instead of saying DC on the back, it has Marvel.
Oh, for like the legalese.
Yeah. So
awkward.
So I'm sure it'll make it worth $5 extra one day, when you go to sell it. So, but yeah, he's a cool figure. So, to me, what I like about this shot, honestly, is the movement. You got Casey, the cape and the bandana going the same way, kind of helped out.
Yep. Well done. I dig it, man. And I can hear, like, now knowing about your production background and everything, I can see all that kind of like coming together. in this work. Is your bread and butter, the cartoon figs.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Your love, I guess. This stuff is cool, man. Way to like.
This shot sat for 2 weeks. This was 2 weeks worth of work. But I was really, really happy with how this came out. And it was, and there's like I've looked at it so much, when you like put a shot up and you're like, yep, this is it. This is good as it's going to get. And now all I can see is the mistakes. Like the roof is not clicked in. Like you can see. Yeah. You just had your mouse over. Yeah. And you're like, oh, son of a,
Dude, that's the energy. Things are chaotic. The things falling apart. But this right here, man, way to use everything at your disposal. That's so cool.
That's a custom head sculpt by Does Machines, DUZ.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's so good.
He did an amazing job. But yeah, I was like, and the buildings in the background too are by Beyond the Devil and Deep Blue Sea. Yeah, dude, this is like kind of the pinnacle. Like I don't know if I'll ever do a shot better than this. Like this was like I had the most fun putting this shot together.
How did you resist? How did you just allow yourself to only have 2 foot soldiers in the shot though?
Oh, there's like 6 more that I had to just start taking out. Right.
Okay.
Like, like I had them on and you're like, okay, we got to start taking out. So like there's, right off screen, there's another one. And I was like, well, that makes the screen too wide. There was another one in the back that was shooting that actually made it you just like, you start to edit yourself,
Gotcha.
And,
Well, here, let's just cycle through some other shots that are my favorite of different toys.
Sure.
He is my favorite X-Men character, period, is Magneto.
One of mine too, yeah.
Been a hero, been a villain, been a leader of the school, been, the center of a big battle, like all this stuff. And I love this character, but this whole deal, this was a collab shot too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
This was me, Matt, and the Toy Daddies. Okay. And we wanted to do something with the D. Blake Make Signs. So that's why we ended up. Mm-hmm. So we did an X-Men shot with D. Blake Make Signs. And
awesome.
Yeah. So
yeah, but it's so great. It's totally a cover. Like this is a fantastic cover.
That's what I was going for. It was a cover. And we just watched, I think the episode had just aired where he was like ripping them apart. And I was like, oh, we do it like a little, I don't know. It's good. It was just fun.
Yeah. And again, this stuff, the toys that are being made, the sculpts and everything, they're like, I guess to use the production analogy, someone's making dope costumes and got these like beautiful actors and beautiful sets. You gotta use it, right? And it's gorgeous stuff. Yeah. Another one, Back to the Wang. This was great, real simple in terms of like not a whole lot of setup, but moody.
Yeah.
And what'd you do with the eyes?
I did make them pop a little bit in post, just in Lightroom. So like you just kind of highlight them and make them pop. But this was nothing. Like this was just, I think it's literally cardboard behind it with a red light and just a little bit, the smoke is what made it,
Mm-hmm.
And I usually put smoke at the bottom. This one I just kind of draped behind it and it just popped. It's just like, this is one of those like happy accidents.
It's interacting with the light too in a beautiful way.
Yeah. Just
that's
happy
cool,
accidents.
Man. So cool. I love it. And all the little accessories, like very cool. That pipe. And then a little bit of battle between 2 of my favorite figures of that year, Sun Wukong by 4 Horsemen and Blade Master Wang. But of course these 2 would work together. Like this is what I do. This is like these figures, I can curate them. I feel like they build a little corner on my shelf, totally work together. But it's just like that victorious battle shot. I love it. He looks tough.
He looks good. And I just used the his face, dude. Like I had done another shot with him and I just like zoomed in on his face and his face photographed so well.
Yeah.
And I just used his, by the way, for the background too. I just used his his packaging.
Wait, this was that cardboard. Oh, the backpack. Oh yeah,
it's just the mountain. Yeah, it's just the mountain.
That's right.
Right? It's just the mountain.
Oh,
so
dope.
Yeah.
Well done. I hope Nate's seen that. Nate Barch. I that's rad, man. Because I think that's like it's so cool that they do that, and I think it becomes a cool resource. That's cool. Yeah. Okay, last one, because it is 2025, and this is how I feel like we are in. Do some virtual insanity right now. fun.
Man.
Who knew this toy would be it shouldn't be as cool as it is. I'm a bass player, so
Okay.
and I started with funk stuff. So when Jamiroquai and like Brand New Heavies and a bunch of bands like that were kind of doing this like neo funk thing, I was all about it. But that said, this really shouldn't be an action figure.
No,
it shouldn't have like a really good sculpt compared to like why can't you just get He-Man, right, Mattel? And then the whole lighting, everything, man. Well done on this. Super. The energy's great.
So and I mean I don't know if you watched, but like when they announced this figure, I was like literally we had stickers made of Jamiroquai. Like what? Like what? And then I got it, and dude, look at his face. It just it is virtual insanity that this thing photographs the way it does. And honestly, so that backdrop it looks digital. It is practical. It is a white card, and I had two lights just crossing on it, and then I just cleaned it up a little bit in Lightroom. Yeah, dude. And I did another shot with this one too. It was earlier this year. I think it was for a Black and Wednesday.
Yeah, I saw the Black and White.
Yeah.
That's recent.
Yeah, dude.
Got 2 shots out of it.
Yeah, I got 2 shots out of him. So, I'm happy with him. I actually broke his wrist peg, so I'm going to have to figure out a way to get him back in order. But he had no business being this good. He's another one of these figures, man.
Yeah, I love that one.
That one. Yeah.
Who's the other figure? Is that a Marvel Legends?
Yeah, it's the hood, the Marvel Legends hood figure. Yeah.
Good use of that shadow. That's Thanos. This is what I was talking about with your cat's lair.
Yeah.
That silhouette of that. No, this is great. You got that full on like it looks like a medium format gray grain on it. It's beautiful. Dude, you have fun with your toys, and it was awesome, man. Just hearing you talk about the toys today and your opinion. And I'm not saying that just because I agree with your perspectives, but I largely do. Just we should be having fun.
Yeah,
we should kind of keep the negativity, I think, to a minimum, because then it gets in the way of like all this other stuff.
Yeah.
You talked about your daughter too, and like we, as an old dude in the room, we got to think about what comes after us, right? Like I don't know how the toy collecting thing continues, what it looks like 20 years from now, but like I hope that we just don't get super critical about these things and make it unfun for people. I've heard that, right? I don't get in Star Wars. Star Wars fans suck, or so I don't know. I appreciate everything you said and all this stuff. Yeah, man, this was fun. I hope you had fun.
I did, dude. I had a blast, dude, and I appreciate you inviting me on. And look, there's you talk about like having fun and like there's no reason why you can't have, we can't coexist in the sense of like I've got a $300 figure on my desk, and I've got to make.
And now it's
right, like you know what I mean. Like just like let people like what you like. Have discussions respectfully about what you like and what you don't like, and just let it be. Like it's just. I'm not saying again, like not everybody needs to agree with everybody, but like have respectful discussions and understand that one person's not going to agree with you sometimes, but hear them out.
And I think the appreciation, you said this earlier, like appreciate the moment we're in where we're getting all of this stuff at the same time. There's options for days. So, just appreciate it, man. Cause I don't know. I wouldn't have thought that, God, I wouldn't have thought after that Thundercats, for example, that one awesome, by the way, cartoon, the 2000 whatever cartoon. No way would I have thought, since that thing got canceled, that we'd ever see anything Thundercats, let alone like the most massive, most expensive, gigantic Thundercats toy ever. That is just, it's beautiful. So I don't know.
Laser, though. Without a laser, just saying. Hates me. He's gonna hate me.
Sorry, Kyle. We had a moment on the Toy Amigos Discord that was fun, but sorry, Kyle. We love you. We do. He and I we know what you.
Kyle knows.
Yeah. Anyway, man, I appreciate you for coming through to my little corner of the whole toy tube thing, man.
Dude.
Just having fun. What do you got going on? I know this Wednesday and every Wednesday, but like in general, what's going on with you?
Yeah, no, this Wednesday. So I'll be on Chat Migos on Tuesday. This Wednesday we've got Ramen Toys swinging by.
Ace?
So yeah, Ace will be there. So we'll be talking with him. So it'll be great. And then, you know, who knows from there? You know, sky's the limit. We'll go.
I love it. Is Chama going to be there?
I don't know. Matt set this one up, so I don't know. It's a little bit of a surprise for me. So,
I only just because I love when Chamba talks about ramen toys, so I really want to see it. Anyways, I love Chamba, man. He's rad.
So,
Stay radical, dude. Great show, guys. I appreciate everybody for watching. So this, so you got that. You've got your show, episode 101. Is there anything big happening for 101?
No.
How do you follow up 100?
You can't. So you just go right back to your regularly scheduled programming and just keep doing what we're doing. Just keep doing what we got us to 100, and that's it. So
beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
All right, folks. Thank you. I hope everybody has a good week. I'm not at all thinking about work because everything's gonna be great this week. I swear.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to all. This was my first episode of 2025. I will continue to do this, and I definitely need to be a little bit more productive on the channel, and that's part of the resolution. So
there you go.
Anyway, you know, any good show needs to end with music, and I kind of half-ass it by naming it, but here.
Do it. Thank you, Rick.
And Zio's on there. Zio's famous. Look, cool. Good job. Appreciate everybody. Bye-bye.